Okay, and welcome back to the Performance by Design Institute. In today's session, specific for why are check-ins so important? Why do we at Performance by Design really promote and even nag you to conduct check-ins? And they are the start of the meeting. And as we know, if we want to bring a new habit into our life in general, it's always smart to attach the new behavior that you want to become a habit to an existing structure or habit. So all meetings have to start. So if we want to build stronger professional relationships, if we want to enable, and create psychological safety to enable real talk and bring our culture code behaviors to life, why wouldn't we start the first 5 to 10 minutes of our meetings connecting as individuals before we get into the mechanics or the technical and the what are we going to do about our strategy type of conversations. When we just enter meetings and get straight into it, some people might be carrying something into the meeting, some people might be happy, sad, angry, whatever it might be. Check-ins start the meeting in a positive setting and really work to get our energy level together and aligned. It's also a positive way to start. Wins and shout outs, okay? And then if you want to add the third question, by all means, go for it. But we'd have you consider that every check-in meeting should have a win and a shout out or gratitude, whatever it might be. But starting with connection and using your code as the connection point, as that reference point for the conversation, is the simple and most practical and powerful, to be honest, way to bring your team behaviors to life, okay? As I said, it gets us in the same headspace and connecting through the code. Inclusivity. This is huge. Everyone starts the meeting by finding their voice. There's no fence sitting in check-ins, okay? If you have introverts in the group, which you probably do, okay, we'd always recommend give a minute or 90 seconds to answer the couple of questions, to sit down and go, what are my wins? What are my shout outs? So that we're not rushing into having to answer. That won't suit our greens and blues of the room, okay? It might suit the yellows and reds, no worries, but we need to be inclusive. And check-ins allow everyone's voice to be heard to begin the meeting. Irrespective of what happens afterwards, everyone's voice is heard to start the meeting, okay? And of course, with wins and shout-outs, we get to develop and curate the 4-to-1 ratio, okay? Truth be told, most people do most things right most of the time. When we work with an organisation and there's dysfunction, what we often unpack is that there's no formal structure to catch the good. It's left up to chance. Check-ins don't leave it up to chance, okay? And again, we all have to share. There's no fence sitting in check-ins, okay? And that little and often recognition that comes from the check-ins works to build that sort of, compound interest, if you will, that leads to sustained appreciation. Little and often recognition builds up that appreciation muscle so team members turn up to work energized, feeling appreciated, okay? We all want to feel worthy. One of the biggest fears for the modern day Western world workforce is people turning up feeling that they're obsolete, that they're not required, okay? Recognition is the antidote to that leads to that really powerful, sustained emotion of appreciation. Now, one thing we've got no time for check-ins. Ridiculous. We've all got time to check in, okay? Now, we're not saying a 15-minute huddle would have a check-in like that, but any meeting over 45 to an hour, we would recommend. But even if it's just a one-word question, how are you feeling? One word can't be good. What are you grateful for in 3 words or less, okay? There should be a moment where you connect first before you get into the doing part, okay? The technical and the tasks and whatever it is that the purpose of the meeting is there for, okay? So simple and practical way to create safety, to enable real talk and bring those team behaviors to life and ultimately build those strong professional relationships inside your organization. So that's the content for this little session. We'll see you next time here in the Institute, where we help you take the chance out of your culture.